Whew. Okay, well, this one is for you, dear Aries. Okay, this is Star Illumination. This is your general report, June 2018. You know the routine. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if all three of them are different. Okay? If you really want to get deep into it, do the cross watching for your significant others, even though this is not a love and relationship reading. If you need a love and relationship reading, there's a whole playlist for that. Just go back to the channel, you'll figure it out. Okay? Cards are well shuffled in advance, but I like to go again live for you so that you're a witness, so that you know that the cards are clear and this reading is for you. If you want to, you can treat this as your own personal private reading. I know that sounds strange, but some people do. Before we do that, I want to throw in a little bit of an appetizer just for fun. I've done it with all the other reports, so I might as well do it with you. These are just my personal little notes. I keep them on standby for the whole month. I know it's simple, it looks weird. It's just, gobbledygook to most people, but it means a lot to me, so I'm just going to share it. This is for June 2018. Early on, we have a big fat Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, grand water trine. This is very harmonious, nutritious energy for all of us. Shortly following, we have the Cancer, Capricorn opposition. Okay, it takes this big fat triangle trine thing and turns it into a kite. This is sacred geometry here. Both of these are very nutritious for all of us to figure out what we need to figure out, especially at the levels of spirit, emotion, intuition, deep soul levels of ourself. And that would most likely be learned through in the context of a significant relationship. Okay. Moving on, significant dates. June the 10th. Okay, we start to get into, okay, hold on. June in general is very bubbly and sparkly and active, partly because of the Gemini energy and, overriding everything. But just below the surface, think of this like surfing. There are a lot of deep riptides and undercurrents that can be very treacherous if you're not aware. So you could be doing, oh, I'm going to go big wave surfing. Oh, wow, this is so cool. Crash and burn. You don't need that. You have to be aware that underneath the surface, there's a lot of stuff going on that you may not be aware of. All I'm trying to do is help you to be aware. We have the big Aquarius Leo axis going on right now. Right in the middle, we have Uranus and Taurus, okay? There's a lot of conflict here. It's called a T square. Okay, it's tough for everybody. This is happening. This is the same weather for everybody. Moving on, Cancer, Capricorn oppositions, yeah. Cancer, Aries, Capricorn in the middle, yeah. And this is very nutritious here. Again, this big trine thing is going on pretty much the whole month, on and off, in and out, including the big kite as well. The challenging aspects are the Leo Aquarius oppositions with Taurus and the Leo Aquarius oppositions with Scorpio. Okay, these are what are called squares, or even a grand square. There's kind of this loose grand square towards the end of the month. And then going into July, right towards the end of the month, 21st or so, Sun moves into Cancer-ish around there. But even right up to the 30th, things are still very, very choppy. Right towards the end of the month, we've got these massive like T-squares almost simultaneously turning it into almost grand square. Very challenging, very treacherous. We can learn a lot through challenging situations. And for you, Aries, I did a little special treat. I know it looks, again, more gobbledygook. Just more dates. June the 20th. Significant moment, just be aware. The moon is moving through Libra, your house of opposition. This is not a love and relationship report. But at that particular time, there are a lot of what are called squares, okay? And T squares, okay? It's very stressful, combative energy, and I'm just letting you know. Also, challenging moments towards the end of the month for everybody. The Leo Aquarius opposition and Taurus over here, excuse me. So I'm just letting you know. All right. So just mark those on your calendar if you want to be alert. You know, challenging days where you might want to pay very close attention. Cards are well shuffled in advance. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. You know the routine already. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and reinterpret. Okay, to suit you. It's your reading. We're doing this for you. Also, please invite your team, your spirit guides, your people, whoever they are, from the great beyond, behind the veil. That's what we do here at Terra Illumination. So it is a team effort. We offer this to you guys, so might as well take full advantage of it. All right. Now we're going to use the journey spread. It's with the heart of the core. It's broad spiritual perspective, and we're putting the core of you at the center here, the heart. The heart knows what it needs, knows what it wants, and it's up to you, Aries. Are you listening? Are you okay? Are you in alignment with your heart? You'll see in just a moment. Okay? Cards are shuffled. Bless the reading, bless the deck. Bless you, dear Aries. Here we go. Let's have a look. Whew. Wow, that was a freaky cut. Excuse me. Caught me totally off guard. All right. This is you at the very core heart of you. So whatever that is, how closely in alignment is this with you, your conscious, waking, egoic self? Okay. Over here, legacy energy. What are you bringing in with you? Pretend you've got a private reading with Terra Illumination. What's in your pocket? What's in your briefcase? What's in your resume? What's bugging you? What's going on? What makes you happy? What's turning you on right now? Okay, over here, the ever-present now. This is where you own your power in the now, not in the past, not in the future, not in your projections of the future based on the past, not all the woe is me. There's no point in like holding on to the status quo. Sure, it's very important to have certain elements fixed and stable and solid. But the reality is that change is the only thing that we know for certain. So it is in the now, as scary as it can be to be in your present, where you have to be grounded, present, conscious, and here. That's where you own your power, and you can execute your power through the healing power of your decisions over here. Decisions are a privilege. It's an incredible privilege to be a human being and to know that we have this faculty of decision making, which allows us to override our limbic behavior and do things that seem to contradict nature, society, our others, our loved ones, ourselves, in order to love ourselves. Love thyself, dear Aries, okay? So how do you do that? Let's say you're in the zone, you're in it, and so how do you do that effectively? And let's say you've already made a decision. I don't want to be one of those people who outsources their whole life to everything and everyone else. And then I can say that fate just happened and that's what it was. And like, I had no control over my life at all. No. On Terra Illumination, it's the other way around. Like, I own my life. I choose to be in my power. I'm going to make my own decisions and I'm going to do it. How? I'm not sure yet, but we're going to figure it out in a way that's most loving for me. I know that it's about love thyself. Love thyself, because that's what's best for me. That's what's best for my loved ones, and that's what's best for the planet from there outwards. Okay? And in so doing, we create consequences because I'm not willing to live totally at the mercy of what people call fate. So what does it look like when you're in the zone and you are in your power, you're in the now, forget about the past, forget about the future, pretend you're an artist, pretend you're like, Monet or Cézanne or something, you're just doing a masterpiece and all you care about is the color, the texture, the canvas, and is everything great. You're not worried about World War III, World War I, or the Middle Ages, or Star Wars. None of that matters. The only thing is now. What does that look like when you're screwing up and you just get distracted and you fall into woe is me misery about circumstances? Oh no, life sucks. I knew it would be this way. On the other hand, what does it look like when you're in the zone and you are totally in your power despite all your challenges? Okay, and then that leads to prospects and momentum. Okay, so there is your heart aura right here, and there's the heart at the very core of you. Heart knows what it needs, knows what it wants. It's up to you, Aries, to listen. Bring this in alignment. The heart's pumping out the nutrients that you need all day, every day, pumping away the wastes that you don't need every day. Okay, circumstantial energy. What have you got going on? Queen of Pentacles here. So my feeling is that you might be in a situation circumstantially right now where you're becoming very vividly aware of all your gifts, all your resources, all your talents, to the point where it's almost embarrassing. It's just like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm not even allowed. That's taboo. I'm not allowed to be this fortunate, this gifted, this talented, to have these resources and skills at my disposal that I've worked for. Hey, wait a minute. That is me. Why should I be ashamed of this? Why should I be embarrassed about this? Oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? Uh-oh. So, full alert, Aries. What are you going to do now? You have to realize you've just exited a 7-year journey through Uranus and Taurus, and you're going to enter, you are in the process of entering a whole new journey of Uranus. I said it wrong, didn't I? You just lived through 7 years Uranus in Aries. We're entering the journey of Uranus and Taurus. This is a once in a lifetime thing. It's happening right now for you, Aries. So this is touching on the area of value and values. What is it that I really value? Circumstantially, it's going to be very evident out there in the world around you. Your relationships, your people, your activities, your circumstances. Oh my gosh. The issue of values and value is going to be very, very vivid. It's going to come into full awareness. And then what do you do with that? Okay, it's the start of a 7-year journey. It's kind of epic. Like the rest of us, Aries, you're on the gateway. You're going through customs and immigration right now. Yeah, it's tedious, but we're in it. You can't go back. There's no going back. You have to go forward. The only way out is through. Okay, let's have a look. What's at the core heart here? Okay, well, your heart at it. You've already figured it out that there's no going back. It's going to be a long-term investment program for the future. There is work to do, work to be done. I'm already at it. I'm already committed. The heart is already deeply committed to the work that has to be done. That's what I'm sensing here for you, Aries. And that to me is very good news because it is a long journey ahead. You've already got, let's just, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say you've already kind of got it locked down. You already know that this is underway. And look at these pentacles here. Let's put all these 7 pentacles here. You've already dealt with number 8. Soon that one's going to be on the shelf for your investment 401k plan. But for the rest of the next 7 years, you're going to be going through it, okay? I'm not saying this is a 7-year reading. All I'm saying is that we're at a very critical juncture in your life right now, Aries. And your heart is aware of that, and your heart is deeply committed to being there for you, offering all the strength and resources and gifts and the talents that it has as a pumping organism to support you, Aries. So the question is, are you listening? Are you willing to put everything that you've got into supporting and loving and nurturing yourself? Question. Okay, what are you bringing in with you? Pretend you're at an interview. Pretend you're here with Tarot Lumination in a private reading. Put it on the table. What do you got? Okay. I'm scared. Teal, I'm scared. I don't know what's happening. I'm not sure what's happening. I feel like I'm being hazed. I don't know. It's just like, I wish I'd figured all this stuff out earlier. And then Teal says, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay. Guess what? This is perfectly normal for you to be very, very scared about what might be happening, what might be coming to you. And you might not have full awareness of what is going on. But look, you are brilliantly illuminated, even though it feels like you don't know what that illumination is. Okay? And You might feel like you're being hazed. You might feel like there's an awful lot of stuff lying ahead of you where you don't have a GPS system. You don't have a spiritual roadmap. Nothing. What am I supposed to do? Oh no, what am I supposed to do? And that's like literally you. It's like sitting here right in front of me saying to Tarot Illumination, what am I supposed to do now? Huh? You tell me. Well, we'll do we'll do our best here at Tarot Illumination. I'll try, but you know the journey continues. You will go on. You will face these obstacles. You will face the fear. You will face the shadow. You will deal with it some way, somehow. Okay? I'm hoping that's what you wanted to hear, because that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, you might be scary. You might feel as though you're being initiated and being forced to walk through the gauntlet. But that's okay. It's just part of a journey. It's just another episode in life. What about the ever present now? I think we talked about this, how it can be freaky to be in the now. What have you got? Whew. I'm glad to see this. To me, the little Page of Cups here is an indication that you are willing to admit your innocence. You're willing to admit that there's a lot that I just don't know when it comes to the healing power of love. There's a lot that I don't know about love and healing, and that's why I'm hanging out here with you at Tarot Illumination, because I'm into this stuff. I want to know more. I want to know like why am I working so hard all this? I know I have to do all this work at the core of my heart, and I know there's a mission and a purpose here. And I know I don't know exactly what I'm doing, where I'm going, and how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to do it anyway, because I know the secret formula is all about bringing the healing power of love into my life from up above. I don't know exactly what that means, but I've heard about it, and you've talked about it on Tarot Illumination, so I'm just going to go with it. Okay? Cool? And then Tarot Illumination says, yes, of course, welcome. So my feeling here is that you're already really well poised to be very, very present in the now. Like you're not vesting huge amounts of your energy into the past. You're not projecting huge amounts into the future. You're just admitting to yourself right now, here and now, I'm innocent. I admit it, I am innocent, and I have so much to learn. And I know this is a once in a lifetime experience. And I'm just glad to be on board. I'm just glad to be in this body, in this lifetime, with this love and this heart and this intention right here and right now. And then your heart says to you, wow, awesome. So we're on board with this thing. Yes. Okay. So it is here in the now where you own your power, where you have access to the decision-making app that's built inside of you, whether you know it or not. Now you're becoming aware you have an app inside of you that does this. It's an amazing app, and it gives you the right and permission, like, oh my God, I can make my own decisions. I don't have to outsource everything to anything and everybody else. I don't have to live at the mercy of everything and anybody else. No, you can make decisions. Wow, isn't that cool? Ha! And what is the ultimate decision? Kerblam, kerboom, to be aware that love is around you all the time. You're swimming in it. Remember that little joke? It's going to be coming out in the book. Pretend you're a scuba diver. No, pretend you are the fish. No, pretend you are the scuba diver. You're a scuba diver swimming in the Bahamas or something, or the coral reefs off Australia or something, or Bali or somewhere, and you're looking at all these gorgeous, amazing fish. And one of these amazing fish just walks up to you, well, swims up to you and says, excuse me, dear scuba diver, can you explain to me something? I've been wondering for a long time and nobody down here seems to know. Please, can you tell me this thing? What is water? And you, the scuba diver, you say, oh, this is actually very hard to explain. You're actually in it right now. You're surrounded by it. You're swimming in it. And then the fish says, really? Really? Oh my, really? Oh, oh. Okay. All right. You don't have to understand anything right now. It's just it's a fact. You're swimming in it. So when you're making your decisions, it's on the understanding that you have permanent access to the healing power of love as and whenever you wish. Okay, it is there. It's permanently there. You're surrounding it. Are you aware? That's the question, Aries. Are you aware? So when you're making decisions, it has to become from the awareness that all decisions must ultimately come from the position of love. What is the most loving thing I can do for me, Aries, right now, so that I can continue to invest in myself for the future? Love thyself. That's what they keep talking about at Terra Illumination. Love thyself. So when you're making the decisions, wow, okay, that's kind of a big deal. Like, what happens if I don't do that? Oh. So, wow, that's kind of heavy duty. This kind of caught me off guard here. I got to tell you, Aries. So how do you do that? How do you actually stay in the zone where you're acutely aware about uh, the healing power of love and how it moves into your life and world and body from up above, into your relationships, everything? How do you do that effectively so you can turn it into a plan, like a business model? Okay, well, if you have to, you ask questions. You don't have to know the answers all the time. All you have to do is be prepared to accept your own naivety, your own innocence in these matters, and just keep going anyway. And don't be ashamed of whatever it is that you don't know, and be perfectly willing to do an invocation. In other words, if I have to, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go through the motions. I'm going to say to myself, I ask for the healing power of love to fill my body from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my mind from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my heart from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my soul from up above. There. I'm going to make that a practice, an actual physical manifestation of what I have to do and how I have to do it when I'm making decisions. And once I've done that, once I own that healing power of love inside of me, then I'm going to make my decision. And what is the decision? What do I have to decide to do right now in order to bring the healing power of love to me right now so that I can own it, so that once I own it, I can share that and give it out there. In other words, I don't have to deplete it. I have to fill this up. My job is to fill myself with this stuff here. Think of this as a fountain. Think of this as fluid, as electricity, as your birthright. It's up to you to own it. How do you do that? By your own invocation, your desire, wish, and manifestation to do so. So it can take huge amounts of courage to do that. But also it helps, if you want to, just to be very naive and innocent, and most especially pure, and have really, really good intentions for that to come into being. And in so doing, create consequences, kerbam, of happiness. This is literally a formula of how you build happiness. You ask for the healing power of love to fill your life from up above, and then you wait to receive it. And however that shows up in whatever shape, form, person, experience, event, whatever it is, then the next step is to accept it and allow for that to happen. That's when it gets very, very challenging, of course. That's when the fear can be very, very deeply triggered, okay? But let's say you get above that and beyond that, and you understand, oh my God, this is a formula. It's so simple. Oh my God. Then what happens is you create consequences, and consequences can equal happiness, joy, the joy, the kind of joy and love and happiness that you can share with others and others can share with you. It's very, very simple. This is the simple kind of joy of being able to hug someone that you love and allow someone to hug you who loves you very deeply and who you deeply love in return. And that breeds love. Love breeds love. This is the energy of love breeding love. Uh, and it's very evident. It's like seeing rainbows appear in your life and your world around you, literally, like miracles, seeing the energy of miracles unfold in front of you. simply because of your invocation and your desire for that to happen and your willingness to do the work and to invest. Love is as love does. Okay, over here, well, what if you mess up? What if you think like, well, that's just in movies. That stuff that's just silly nonsense in movies. And you just disregard that and you think, I'm going to throw away that opportunity. It's just silly. You end up having to struggle against the universe. What's the point in that? With the seven of wands here, by throwing this opportunity away, by not realizing how incredibly fortunate you are to have the ability to choose to bring the healing power of love into your life from up above, you're creating problems. You're just setting yourself up for a lot of challenges that you don't need to happen. It's perfectly okay to love and be loved and to be happy. You don't have to live a life that's permanently saturated with stress and drama and grief and trauma. It's actually okay to be happy. And you don't have to be ashamed of that and guilty and embarrassed. Okay? So what happens when you are in the zone and you are in your power and you choose to invoke the love and healing into your life from up above? It brings you to the point of courage where you can handle anything, no matter what it is, whatever is coming at you, because you're on top of all this stuff, because you've got this. You've got this. You've got this. You have built this by invocation, by your decisions. Okay? See, it's like you can handle anything, no matter what. Yeah, it might be very, very challenging at times. Like, when Terra Lumination was talking about, the big squares at the end of the month. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Well, guess what? You can handle it. It might still be very, very stressful, but you can handle it. Okay? Prospects and momentum. Let's have a look. Okay, you become a master. You attain a point of mastery where this isn't just a gobbledygook like action replay of a weird kid's fantasy movie or Lord of the Rings or some kind of, one of those big mythological hero movies. You actually get to live this and be this. You become an authority figure yourself. It's almost like, hey, everybody, I know you think this stuff is absolute nonsense, but guess what? I have endured. I know this. This is real. It is a formula, and I'm here to tell the tale. In fact, I am a master. I have figured out a way to achieve mastery of these things so that becomes like my truth. It becomes my knowledge, my wisdom, my higher knowledge, and I can share this with others if I want to, and you can come to me if you want to. Okay? You reach a point where you can actually become an authority figure, coming out of the sweetness and the innocence, going through all the fears and the shadows and the terror and the nightmares that you might have to endure, and then understanding that it is a journey, it is a plan, and it's a long-term investment plan. You can create the happiness, and then you eventually learn the formula. It's like you end up having a patent on the formula, and you can sell and market this patent if you want to. I'm not saying to do that. But what I'm suggesting is that you know the rules, you know how it works, you know this from the spiritual understanding, and that it isn't a fairy tale. It isn't something that you have to do to brainwash yourself, although self-brainwashing can be very effective, living as if until you fully get it. But this is the point where you fully get it and you understand it and it becomes part of your natural being. And then you own it from there on, and it becomes indisputable. Nobody can undermine you with this energy here. They might see you as like, oh, innocent, or like, oh, good luck with that. Like, this is only in fairy tales, and you have no idea how screwed you are and how hard it's going to be. Well, that's their problem. They might be jealous of you. But the reality is, if you can get to this point, if you can understand this reading the way I'm trying to depict the story here to you, by the end of the month, you can put yourself in a very strong position, no matter how challenging the month, okay? and then come out the other side, literally being kind of the authority figure of your life. Indisputable. No apologies. No explanations required. No excuses. No, like, you don't have to diminish yourself in a way. And like, you are the authority, right? And you're the one who calls out the truth. And if the other people can't handle it, that's their problem. Okay? Well done, Aries. All the best. Okay? Oh, hold on. Let me put this here. And then you can reinterpret the whole thing however you want. Okay, bye-bye. All the best in June 2018.